Guten Tag. Today's lesson takes us halfway across the world to experience one of Germany's most incredible and unique inventions. And no, is it a gummy bear? No, tasty, but unfortunately no. Is it an accordion? Oh, that's music to my ears. No, it's an Amphicar. Yes, the mid-century marvel of German engineering offered consumers the ability to travel on land and sea. So it looks like it's time to fasten your seatbelts and secure your life preservers. Brandon, I see what you're doing here. I was in a movie with the great Bill Murray, Life Aquatic. Oh, that was a great movie.
All right, thanks for another great intro, Jeff, and we'll talk to you again real soon. But for now, we're going to head back to the 1964-65 World's Fair. Meadow Lake was home to a number of attractions at the fair. Why not say aloha to the Hawaiian Pavilion? There you could experience an authentic Polynesian village complete with food, music, and dance. At the Florida Pavilion, fair attendees could see palm trees, pink flamingos, lush gardens, and of course, porpoises. That's right, I said porpoises. According to the brochure, these aquatic mammals would dance, leap high into the air, and even play basketball.
If anyone disputes that it's a goal, he's liable to cut up rough.
This was all thanks to the good people at Minute Maid Orange Juice.
Here's wonderful news for you and me, that Minute Maid gives more vitamin C. So why squeeze orange juice yourself?
When doctors say
Minute Maid orange juice is better for your health. Yes, Minute Maid orange juice is better for your health. All those vitamins and minerals, that's for me, boy. Remember, Minute Maid orange juice is better for your health.
Can anyone recognize that voice? That's right, it's Bing Crosby. Some of you might even be old enough to remember that Bing spent a number of years as Minute Maid's celebrity spokesperson. He was also one of the first to invest in the company. You might say that he was a trailblazer for orange juice concentrate. Of course, by the 1960s, the CocaCola company had purchased Minute Maid in its entirety. The cola giant already had its own pavilion at the World's Fair, where attendees could take a 15-minute stroll through scenes inspired by exotic locales from across the globe, which I'm sure was very nice, but didn't exactly compare to what their biggest competitor, Pepsi, had been working on with Disney. Everyone at the New York World's Fair wanted to take a ride on the happiest cruise that ever sailed. Still, it might be fun to imagine, what if a group like Coca-Cola or even Minute Maid had sponsored It's a Small World instead of Pepsi? Would the Sherman Brothers have been replaced by Bing Crosby? And what would that have sounded like?
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small world. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. Very small, very small. It's a small world after all.
Now let's voyage back to Meadow Lake to experience a full-size replica of Santa Maria. 90 feet long, weighing 110 tons, the vessel was constructed in Barcelona after some extensive research. Now, again, I'm sure it was a very impressive boat, but it may have had some stiff competition in the Amphicar.
And here's a late arrival coming to the fair in his own way.
At first glance, you might suspect it's like any other sports car. However, a quick look under the hood might change your opinion. Because, well, there's nothing under there. The engine was mounted in the back of the car, which powered the rear wheels. Once the passenger boarded the car, whatever it is, the vehicle would splash down into Meadow Lake before 2 twin propellers kicked in. Up to 3 passengers could cruise around the lake in one of the more relaxing attractions at the New York World's Fair. Now, of course, there was definitely some competition between auto manufacturers at the fair as well. Companies like General Motors and Chrysler had an incredible presence. Ford had teamed up with Disney to create the Magic Skyway, where fairgoers could travel from the dawn of life on Earth right into the space age from the comfort of a brand new Ford Mustang. Now, as cool as the Amphicar was, it was no Mustang. In fact, automotive experts were quite critical of the vehicle. Turns out the steel unibody of the Amphicar left the vehicle prone to rust. And since the vehicle's novelty was based on its ability to travel on land as well as sea, rust would be problematic. You know, the vehicle never really performed well either. Some owners were kind in stating that the Amphicar was the fastest car on the water and the fastest boat on the road. But another critique explained that the vehicle would revolutionize drowning. That's so rude.
Fish out of water, indeed. You're in your element, because you never can tell whatever sort of man-bites-dog experience you're in for when you get inside a strange motor car. Just step, if your conscience is clear, and you're right with the law into this.
But the premise of the Amphicar was a lot of fun. Despite catching the attention of fairgoers, production of the car would not last long. By the end of 1965, the last Amphicar had already been assembled. There would be less than 4,000 vehicles produced, and most of them were sold in the United States. Some of these vehicles still exist today.
Oh my god, that's great.
Coming in with a splash.
That's pretty awesome.
And then the audio's in the picture. Water sailing the seas above downtown Disney, aka the new Disney Springs.
Over at Disney Springs, in the Walt Disney World Resort, you can even experience a reimagined Amphicar that's directly inspired by the original vehicle from the New York World's Fair. So I can't help but feel like I'm doing all the talking here, so now it's up to you to answer a few questions. First off, are any of our viewers brave enough to ride in an Amphicar? Do you know somebody who's ridden around in one of these things? Let us know in the comment section below. Oh, and before I forget, I want to say a huge thank you to my friend John from BigFatPanda.com for giving us all that amazing footage from Disney Springs, as well as, I should say thank you to my buddy Chris, and of course, the amazing, the astonishing Jeff Goldblum for helping us out with this video. I will, of course, include all that important information on how you can find those gentlemen in the description below.
Where do you think you're going? We haven't finished, not by a long shot. You still haven't clicked that sexy subscribe button. There you go. Drag that cursor over and click the red heels and repeat after me. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Oh, Judy Garland, somewhere on a rainbow. Oh, I love you, Judy. What's that from? The Wizard of Oz. 2 points for anybody who got that in the comments. Yes.